Welcome. Today, you're going to see something that will completely change the way you think about wealth, business, and ownership. For decades, the wealthiest people and the biggest corporations and companies have followed the same formula, the same system, the same concept. Own assets, build networks, and create systems that pay them forever. Meanwhile, where does this leave the rest of us? We've been taught to trade our time for money, get the education, build the business on platforms we don't own, build in companies that are not ours, and chase opportunities that have always seemed just to be out of reach. We get the promises, but we're constantly let down. But everything is about to change. The way we work, the way money moves, the way wealth is physically and actually created. It's all about being rewritten by technology. There's introductions of AI automation, blockchain, tokenization, robotics. This isn't the future. It's happening right now. So the real question is, will you be a part of the shift or are you going to be left behind? Maybe in previous massive system shifts, maybe you didn't pay attention, but I urge you for the next 10, 15 minutes, we're going to be covering something that is critical to understand. So let me just give you an example. Imagine you're a network marketer, maybe e-commerce or some kind of an online business influence, or maybe just building a social media presence. You work hard to build your network. You're working every day to grow and engage with your audience. You're creating immense amount of value. But who really owns it? Really think about it. Who owns all of the effort that you're putting in? If the platform changes the algorithm, if your company changes the rules, changes the compensation plan, changes the products, if your employer decides to completely restructure, you lose everything. But what if instead of building on somebody else's land, you actually owned your network? What if every connection you made became a real, protected, and appreciating asset, the same as the wealthiest in the world have his asset accumulation, one that could be leveraged, it could be monetized and passed down just like a real estate or stocks or bonds, like any kind of actual asset. And that is what Amplify is, the first social fi platform that lets you own the most valuable asset in the world, your network, a tool that doesn't just change how you earn, it changes what you own. So let's dive into it. So the change is here. We're all bracing for impact. And what are the three components, the three pillars of this change? The first is AI automation. AI automation, it's projected about 60% of jobs are going to be replaced or affected with automation. So that means even if you are independent entrepreneur, you need to understand that even your sector is being impacted. Less and less people are being hired. More and more is being outsourced. It can be automated because it's really great for the companies, not necessarily for the people. So that's going to be significant, meaning people are going to have to do something different, whether they like it or not. Next, you couple in robotics is becoming increasingly more sophisticated and cheaper to produce. It's estimated that one out of every 25 workers are going to be a robot. So imagine, where are you working right now? Imagine looking in a meeting room and one of the 25 people will be a robot. Or even if you're in your field, I come from network marketing. A lot of what we can do is already becoming automated with funnels, with artificial intelligence. And what is that all doing? It's removing the human element and adding more profits to the companies, to the platforms. And finally, where is the money going? If you're building a business, if you're launching any product or project, you want to be launching in a growing market, in a market that is expanding, not shrinking. Even if you have the best idea, the best project, compensation plan, the best everything, it's irrelevant because if it's being built in the past, it's not going to matter because the money, the attention, and the people are shifting. And that shift is being facilitated by the blockchain. We learned about that with crypto and Bitcoin being the fastest asset in human history is Bitcoin because of the power of trust, the power of transparency, and first time ever ownership. And we're going to be talking about that. So this is important. Wherever field you're in, if you're not thinking digital, if you're not thinking tokenomics, if you're not thinking blockchain, then you may not be relevant in the next 3 to 5 years. So this is really important. So what is the shift? All of businesses are shifting. And most important is, are you ready? And the biggest wealth shifts happen when new systems emerge. Again, we're not talking about an individual company, an individual project or product or profession you're in. We're talking about the entire infrastructure of the world. And it gives us an opportunity to do something we were never possible before because the timing was never there. And you can't create time and you cannot manipulate timing. So, very quickly, Web 1 was a new way to connect, a new way for people to connect to information, and that brought in the information age, from the industrial age to the information age with the internet. And first it was just information only, read only, and then very quickly it started to evolve. It didn't take decades, it took a few years, and we moved into social media. Then we were able to create content, read content. We were enabled to people not to only consume, but they can share and they can connect in new ways and communicate. This is called social media. And most of us are very familiar with social media. So meanwhile, then we slowly started to hear about Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, and this was the emergence of blockchain technology, which is what we call Web 3. So there's a lot of things that people think about when they think Web 3. Let's keep it simple. So now what this means is you can read and you can write, like social media, and you can own, digital ownership. So the blockchain produces a way that we, for the first time ever, can custody true ownership in the internet. And that is called decentralization. And this is why it's one of the biggest shifts in history, because there's ownership. But I'm here to tell you Web3 is just a bridge. And again, we don't build our businesses on the bridge. We build it on what is the other side. What is this shifting us towards? And this is called social finance or social fi. We're moving from DeFi to social fi, to collaboration, to networks, to platforms. How will they operate in this new economy? And I'm telling you, today they're being built already, and we are one of the leading projects. So what does that mean? It means you can read, you're going to be able to write like social media, you're going to have ownership, so you're going to be able to own your content, and now you can monetize your ownership. This is what we're going to be focusing on, is ownership and monetization, and monetizing something that's always existed, just never been protected. And that leads us to social finance, where communities create their own economies through ownership and monetizing and technology. So, and now, if we're talking about social finance, and this isn't decades away, we're talking in the max next 5 years. So let's talk about keeping it first principles. What does every business need, like oxygen, like food, to survive, to even have any success? And this is what we're going to focus on. And not only that, let's take our time machine. We're looking at social fi, the future, all the money, all the attention. What is going to be the most valuable thing there? And that's simple. We look at what's been the most valuable thing the last 30 years, what's the most valuable asset today, and that'll be the most valuable asset tomorrow, and it is called social capital. So let's look at it. It is the foundation of everything. It's this invisible asset. It's your connections. It's the world's most valuable asset, more valuable than gold, Bitcoin, diamonds, money, because this is what makes everything valuable. And what does create once you have that network effect? You know, your network is your net worth. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that is because every business, all of money and job flows through connections. Every new opportunity, if you're a networker, affiliate, influencer, you find out about opportunities through your network. And then those opportunities create financial value, meaning you start to collaborate, you do businesses, maybe you do this company, you do that company, and that is creating actual tangible value, and that is called social capital. And that has been 70% of all the wealth created for the last 30 years is social capital. It's not the products, it's not the technology, it's not your education. It is your network. So those that have been the most successful and the most wealthy in this world are those that own the most social capital. And, and that's very simple to see. You look at big tech. Some of the biggest companies have the most users, and that is social capital. And that is all owned, like I mentioned, by less than 900 companies own the majority of the entire internet. So let's put that in perspective. Billions of people, all the value and everything we're creating for companies and platforms, there's only about 900 that are reaping all of the rewards and leaving us with 30% maximum, while 70% through the corporate monopolies. And this is what the shift is. So now the ownership is shifting. For the first time, We can own the most valuable asset. We can protect it. We can secure it. And this is the Amplify system. It's the world's first and only social finance tool. It's a tool as simple as just having an app on your phone that completely changes the game and starts to build your own system. Every connection becomes a monetized asset that you can start to build and leverage on. And with Amplify allows you to own your social capital through blockchain technology. And then once you have your social capital, then the technology allows for limitless amounts of connection, limitless amounts to appreciate that social capital. And it's protected, it's secured on the world's fastest blockchain that is built for onboarding billions of people and making it user friendly. And all of this is to monetize your social capital, having a tool where you can engage and manage and activate. And you hear in crypto, you hear if you're from the crypto space, you hear proof of work. You hear proof of stake. The future is going to be proof of connection. Businesses are going to know how connected are you. It's not going to be a check mark. You're going to be able to validate and certify it with actual metadata, and that's going to create your social fi system. So Amplify in simplicity. It puts the power of your connections directly in your hands. You don't have to spend billions of dollars like Zuckerberg building a Facebook. You can simply start connecting directly. And this is because of the power of the technology. We don't need massive infrastructure. Like Uber doesn't have any cars, and you see all of these different platforms. Spotify doesn't make music. YouTube doesn't make any kind of content. Netflix now they just make movies. But the point is that is the major companies of wealth, they have assets and they leverage it. And now welcome to SocialFi. So once you have your social capital on chain in your wallet, decentralized ownership, now you can do the same thing these massive companies and platforms do. You can do it yourself. If you've got a new product or service or opportunity, click a button, tap a button, and your entire network of independent business owners will receive that message. No traditional ads, no algorithms, no reliance on centralized networks. Maybe you're into charities. Something happens. We need to mobilize people to help people. We need money. We need funding. Click a button and instantly you can send that message. Don't need to go through any kind of GoFundMe, all these other centralized systems. Now, if you want to crowdfund like Kickstarter, what is Kickstarter? It just connects people to projects. So once you have the platform, you could do crowdfunding, startups, personal projects. If you're an artist, musician, whatever your passion is, you can now crowdfund that from your network directly. And now, next, my favorite, because I come from the network marketing side of 20 years, building with multiple billion-dollar companies. And what is the number one value was their database. And now you have your own database that is all co-owned. So if there's a new opportunity, maybe a new network marketing company, new affiliate company, you simply tap a button and your entire network will receive that new opportunity. And they can just simply connect and say, yes, I want to do it. And now you've sent the message to everyone. So no more calling and all this, and especially e-learning. Once you have the community, SocialFi can turn into e-learning. Meaning if you're a professional, if you're an educator, maybe you're the best in your field, now you can place it on the platform. Not only are you selling your content, sharing your content, you're owning a piece of the platform where the content exists, the land. And last but not least, imagine a launch pad. In one click, if there's a new opportunity, a new app, it can, what does every project need to start? It needs people, it needs time, and it needs money. So we produce everything. They can launch it on a launch pad and they'll have a community. They'll be able to crowdfund and they have instant customers and people that can also promote their product. This is the power of SocialFi. SocialFi will build everything, and Amplify doesn't just store your network, it gives you the access to supercharge it into your own financial ecosystem. So regardless of what you do today, whatever profession you're in, you can start to build an asset. So how does Amplify work? It allows you to create the most valuable asset. Again, not working just for your money, but creating a system that's generating money. It makes money. And the first step is secure your network. And we do this through the blockchain, through the NFT, non-fungible tokens. It's a token of you. Tokenization is going to be the biggest shift in history, and we're tokenizing people and relationships. So simply to connect, it starts at $10. So if you're a company, if you're a massive influencer, you can now immediately secure your network for $10. Each person creates limitless opportunities. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to scale, if you want to have access to the global scalable impact business, it's as simple as $98. And that is called the deed NFT, the deed to your life, the deed to your business. And you're starting to collect deed energy. It's the credits, it's the energy to run your ecosystem, to run your social fi. And then it's simple. So what do these NFTs do? So it's your digital passport into a completely new digital community that is not a company. There's no brand. It's independent people. And what does the NFT do? It simply can connect to other NFTs, and it proves a proof of connection in the metadata, meaning it's immutable, intangible. It is yours forever, that infrastructure. And for every connection, you can earn up to 60%. 60% for connecting, then 60% on any function that's used in the ecosystem. And now the fun begins. Every connection increases the asset value. Like holding Bitcoin is great because Bitcoin secures your value, it holds your value. With social capital is the next layer, it's the next evolution. It is a way that you can increase and grow your your asset. So this is fundamentally the next level of crypto. And next, you can monetize your network. Your network becomes your personal social fi economy, meaning everything you do in your life, you don't do Amplify. Amplify becomes a tool, a function in your tool, but you can amplify projects because we are amplifying people. We're getting people connected and securing that most important asset and putting people before products. So now let's take a look at the world of the Amplify shift because we realize the system wasn't built for us. So we are building our own system. Again, not under a company or a centralized entity, a fully decentralized community of independent owners. So without Amplify, this will be the future. If you have one person with Amplify and one with not, say a new opportunity comes along. You have to start over from scratch. That means DMing people, contacting people, going through your WhatsApp, emailing people, searching on all the different platforms where all your social capital is to get this new opportunity there. And the problem is the platform will control all of the engagement and the monetization. Even if you want to get your message out, you're going to reach a very small percentage of your social capital. If you post on Facebook, if you post on X, you don't reach all of your people. It is all managed and controlled, and that is monetized. And then every business you build forever will always profit and not you, not fully, because I showed you 70% of your value is monopolized. So the best you will ever do is get 30% out of whatever you produce and you don't own it. And on top of that, with AI and robotics, it's going to increasingly compete. So whether it doesn't matter, for my amazing people in network marketing, this is impacting all of us. AI automation just means these companies will need less and less human people to network when they can automate, when they can do e-commerce, and then when they can go directly to your customers and cut you out. This is the reality because you have no ownership. You don't make the decisions. For any company, we have that creates no security. That means you have no control over your most valuable asset, which is your network. This will be one scenario if people don't make the shift. With Amplify, now imagine that same new opportunity comes along. You have to go scramble and find the people and do it the old way. I simply will tap and share it directly with my entire network immediately, lightning speed. And with every new person that connects, I will connect and I'll earn. Whether I have a product or not, maybe I don't have a great product for this connection, but I get monetized from the connection, creating the first ever network marketing product in history because we're building a network that we own. And then my network, it's my network, it's my community, it's my business, it's my rules. So there's no compensation plan changes, there's no product changes, there's no company shutting down and me losing everything again and starting over. Those days are over. But if you don't have the tool, it's constant rat race. And now I'm not chasing. The person with Amplify is not chasing. They're not rebuilding, starting over and over. This is the last business, the last team you ever have to build because you own it. And now when AI and robotics becomes my ally and it becomes a partner to you, because as the community grows, there's many languages and AI will help manage and organize and keep and assist the people, not work against the people. So in my world, it'll be push a button, launch any business opportunity, whatever comes across my table in my life, and I can launch it and I can earn from it immediately and I can continue to scale it, creating an asset and moving me and moving anybody that's with Amplify as a tool to basically 5, 10x whatever they're already doing. So who is this for? How would Amplify work in your life? And I'm here to tell you, Amplify provides value for every type of person in your network. Everyday people. We are earning by connecting. Imagine you wake up to new friend requests, new notifications. Our community wakes up to bank deposits, doing the same exact thing, still connecting, simply using Amplify as a new way to connect. You get a WhatsApp number, you get a friend request. Now you connect with them on Amplify, just like any other social platform. But here we're social capital platform. Entrepreneurs and networkers, this is where I come from. Your network, is always permanently yours. I've been with multiple companies. I've seen so much devastation where people's businesses were not protected. And one day you could not be able to log into your back office, log into your account, log into your bank, and everything is gone. And those days are over. This is the last business entrepreneurs and networkers ever have to build because everybody's in a people business. Influencers, imagine owning your audience completely, not just having subscribers and followers, having business owners and business partner equals independent, meaning you have a mechanism that pays people to build your reach and more people to see your content and your opportunity just through the function. And then built-in monetization with the future of gamification, you start to future-proof your influence because like I said, in the future, it will be proof of connection, not just how many subscribers you have, because all of that is very inauthentic. And last but not least, for businesses. So if you're a business, if you do B2B, this is the most on-demand asset they have to have, and that is access to people. So no longer we're removing that access from big platforms. We'll get paid billions of dollars to access you and me and my network. So we're just shifting the game and saying you can have that same access, but now you're going to pay me directly. You're going to pay my team directly. You're going to pay my network directly to have access to our customers and our data. So the money is there. Now it's with Amplify, you can access that money. And now, what does every company need? They need people, they need customers, and they need to solve people's problems. So you can see here from individuals to businesses, everyone benefits from owning their connections. Again, we are in Web3. This is the era of ownership. Once you own it, then you're able to monetize it. So let's take a look at that. So why now? Because timing is everything. We cannot control timing. We cannot control the patterns. Right now, we're going through the biggest shift in modern history. I'd say it's a quiet shift because those that know, they are building in there. And we are the world's first social fi platform. We have a tool, a community tool that you are able to store, protect, and secure the most valuable asset in the world, not Bitcoin. And again, look at Bitcoin was the most fastest or the fastest adopted asset in human history. SocialFi is much more valuable than that. And you have an opportunity to be as an early adopter, 24/7 earning potential with the smart contracts. This is why I love the blockchain technology. Instant payouts, no more middleman, no credit card processors, no commissions departments, no CEO or board members that hold commissions. Instant input in, money out. 24/7. You have your own wealth generating system. When you're not working, it is still working. And it's 100% yours. Security, protection. You start to build trust within the community and you keep full control of your connections, your data, no more middleman. You own the number one asset. And again, the biggest wealth shifts happen when new systems emerge. So I truly encourage just to take a step back from whatever profession and whatever your job is, whatever you do to make money, and see the bigger picture that we have a very short window to truly change generational wealth. And that is to move from owner users and being products of the system to being owners, and now shifting that mindset and moving as a decentralized mind. And here with the Amplify mechanism of the tool, it pays to connect. So to connect, you collect, and it's instantly passive and long term. Once you have an NFT that gives you exclusive access to the DAO ownership, to the owners community training, where we train on every element of what is happening with the new financial system, what is important, what are the tactics, how does the mechanism work. So very short overview. There's instant rewards, meaning you connect with somebody, you get paid instantly. And somebody connects in your network, you get paid instantly. And this is powerful, meaning up to 10 levels, you're getting paid. And if you're from network or affiliate side, you understand the network effect. So getting paid immediately directly into your wallet, you make it, you earn it, and then there's a passive income. We talked about the social fi. As people are connecting, you're earning. And then as people start to engage with the social fi tools, then you're earning on everything. As people are building their business, you will be able to earn on it because you are their connection. We are all working together. So that now transforms your connections into limitless income streams because the connection is great. Getting paid that bonus is amazing. But what's more amazing, that social capital, that individual, now you're connected to limitless opportunities. That's where the fun begins. Because again, your network is where everything comes from. And that becomes your long term physical, tangible asset in your wallet. It transforms your connections into valuable, appreciating digital assets. The only way we're going to get the world out of poverty and to truly change our lives and do what the rich are doing is own assets. We have to own assets. And the money the assets generate, we buy more assets. And this is how you change your life and get out from financial scarcity into financial freedom. So this is all included with one Deed NFT. So simply connect, own your future, own your network, become a business owner, become an entrepreneur of the future. Future proof your business, four simple steps. Step one, you got to set up your decentralized wallet because now we're talking Web3 ownership. This is where your NFT will go. It's going to connect directly to your wallet, and this is where all your rewards and all of the earnings and all of the income will go directly to your wallet. Second, once you have your wallet, and then whoever introduced you to this presentation, they will have their own link, private link. They send you the link, and it's just like an invitation to any other platform. Create a profile that gives you access to the store, and then you purchase the seed for 10 if you just want to protect. You just want to protect your assets, your community, your contacts, 10 USDT, simple. Or if you want to connect and leverage all the social fi tools, I participate with the Deed Energy, basically $200 free in Deed Energy, and then start to learn what that is and what that means to you and the value and the whole tokenization. Again, we're talking the biggest market in history of tokenization. And that NFT will then grant you access to owners only training, where you will join officially the DAO onboarding program for all NFT holders. You learn about the future wealth building strategies for the new economic paradigm, how to launch, scale, and monetize your business quickly and profitably. So as we say at Amplify, we are made to connect, and it's time to connect now. We would love to connect with everybody, no matter what you do, where you come from, whatever your goals and dreams are. We are much stronger together. We're going from a me mentality, all about me, to a we mentality. So start today, own your network, own your future. It's time to connect. The world is changing.